Hello, hello. Welcome or welcome back to my space. I hope you are doing well. We are going to check what are the messages that we are getting today. I already shuffled a little bit. So let's see. What is the main subject? Tell me, what is the main subject? The Nine of Swords, someone stressed out, unable to sleep, anguish, nightmares. Okay, tell me other people. Relationship, connection, other people. Oh, the devil in reverse. Okay, this might be talking about healing. This might be talking about releasing of karmic ways, might be talking about releasing of addictions. Kind of feels here that we are talking about someone who is stressed out because someone is evaluating, healing, growing, detaching, cutting some kind of trauma bond, toxic bond, something like that. What is the driving energy here? The driving energy, Five of Swords in reverse. Someone losing, someone being unable to manipulate a situation, someone who wanted a quick win. And what I mean by a quick win, it is someone who will do everything and anything in order to win. But it's in the momentum, it's in the present, like they are not thinking about the consequences of what they are doing, right? Okay, what is hidden? What is hidden? What is hidden? It is that some kind of narrative has come to an end. Some kind of story doesn't hold on anymore, some kind of way of thinking, a belief, a false belief is coming to an end. Okay, the path shift and the change. The Page of Wands, it came out like this, turning it clockwise. Okay, somebody being stopped. Someone who's not pouring energy in some kind of situation, in someone. What we have here at the bottom of the deck, it is the Emperor reverse. When we are talking about the Emperor in reverse, we are talking about a tyrant, right? We are talking here about someone who's trying to dominate a situation. It's a manipulator very often. Not so surprising, right? Here with the Five of Swords, someone wanting to win at all costs. Yeah, it's somebody here that is driven by their pride, ego, need of control, domination, reckless, arrogant, corrupted. With the Emperor in reverse, we have all the kings in reverse, right? Okay, so it kind of feels here that this is the person that we are talking about here that is very, very stressed out because it kind of feels that other people, which might be you, but we might be talking about other people, they are detaching themselves of this person, kind of feel that they don't believe them anymore. Okay. With the Page of Wands here in reverse, I feel that maybe they don't believe them because you stopped pouring into this person. With the Page of Wands in reverse, we might also be talking, if we are talking, for example, about a romantic relationship, we might be talking about someone where you had some kind of desire or passion for them, and it's over, it's done. It's done, right? Yeah, so all of this is kind of giving me that we are talking here about somebody that is stuck in their toxic ways, right? there is here a false narrative that is coming to an end. This might also be talking about a betrayal. A betrayal. I feel here that the person that we are talking about here, right, the Emperor in reverse, that they might not realize that in fact they are feeding themselves false narratives, making them act in a certain way, and that at the end of the day they are betraying themselves. So obviously they are betraying other people also, right, because they are acting on those kind of false beliefs. But there is this element, this is in what's hidden, so it kind of feels that this person doesn't realize, like it's the self-fulfilling prophecy, right? It's like if you are in a relationship with someone and you are very, very faithful, you are not interested in cheating, but someone is accusing you all the time of cheating, right? And they are afraid to lose you. At the end of the day, they will lose you because they are just turning your life into a nightmare, trying to control you and dominate you, right? And this is why, at the end of the day, they will lose you. And maybe even you will want to cheat, because if anyway you are accused of cheating all the time, and they become so unbearable, right? And they make you feel all kind of way. So in fact, they are creating the situation that they are trying to control. Okay, interesting. Let's get a little bit deeper into all of that. I feel like using this deck. Just a reminder, this is a collective reading, which means that it is a group reading, which means that it might be for you, it might be partly for you, and it might not be for you. So please, take what resonates, leave the rest. Don't take on yourself a story that is not yours. If I'm talking about masculines or feminines with gender-related card, for example, right? We are not talking about the gender, we are talking about the energy of the card. So please apply it however it applies. And this reading can be past, present, or future. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Tell me, the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords, the King of Cups in reverse, the Nine of Cups, and the Seven of Swords in reverse. Yeah, they are stressed out because they have been exposed for lying, cheating, manipulating, cunning, backstabbing, stealing, having a hidden agenda, trying to get away with something that they did. Emotional manipulation here, right? We have the Nine of Cups here. I kind of feel here that we are talking about their arrogance, them being very, very sure of themselves, presenting themselves in some kind of way, but in fact, there is some kind of emotional manipulation. The King of Cups in reverse here. Can you see all the cards? Yes, you can. Let me put on my glasses, even though it's all written in big. Okay, wait, let me take one more, and then maybe I will get deeper into this Nine of Cups. Tell me, the Nine of Swords. The Two of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, there is here something. I am truly attracted more here with this Nine of Cups. Look, the face of someone, right? I kind of feel that people are presenting themselves to this person that is now stressed out because people know exactly what's going on behind the scene, right? That they had a hidden agenda, that they were lying, manipulating, all those things, right? And I'm truly attracted here more to the image. People presenting themselves like this in front of them and saying, what the F? What the F? Right? Okay, yeah, they're totally out of balance. Totally out of balance. Might also be that they have presented you as not loving yourself, being depressed, being mentally unstable. With the Nine of Cups, we are talking here about someone who's emotionally fulfilled, by themselves, at peace with themselves. We are talking about self-love, self-confidence, self-worth. I don't know why I feel the need to tell you that, you know, when we are talking about self-confidence, you might be very, very self-confident and in some kind of situations still being stressed out and all those kind of things, right? You can, for example, be someone who is more of an introvert. So you can be have self-confidence, but still in some situations feeling not at ease, right? It doesn't mean that you don't have self-confidence. It just means that in some situation, because you might be an introvert in some kind of situations, it might stress you out. When we are doing something for the first time or something is very, very important to us, we might be stressed out. Being stressed out doesn't it's not the same as lack of self-confidence, right? I felt the need to say that, so maybe somebody needs to hear it, right? Maybe you think that because you are stressed out in all kind of situation, you think that it means that you are not self-confident, when in fact, right, being stressed out, it might just come from something new, something important, all those kind of things, right? Okay, yeah, so somebody here, I truly feel here that we have the answer about why this person is so stressed out here. Not sleeping well, nightmares, anguish, because they are seen for this emotional manipulator and somebody here who lied and manipulated, had some kind of hidden agenda. They didn't want to take some kind of accountability and responsibility. And with this Two of Pentacles in reverse, I kind of feel that they try to reverse the roles. So they were saying that you were doing what they were doing in fact, right? They might have said that you are controlling when we know that they are controlling, right? They might have said that you stole from them when in fact they stole from you. They might have said that you cheated when in fact they cheated, right? Okay, so let's see here the Devil in reverse, Justice, beautiful, Knight of Swords in the upright, Empress in reverse. Somebody here was operating from their karmic feminine energy. We might be talking about a masculine, right? It doesn't matter. When we are talking about feminine and masculine, we are talking about energy. We are talking about concepts, right? That are attributed to the masculine and the feminine. We are not talking about man or woman, right? It's important. I'm saying it in the intro, but I need to repeat it here. So you need to truly apply it to your situation. So when we are talking about the Empress in reverse, we might be talking about someone overbearing, somebody, for example, thinking they can use emotional manipulation or their charm in order to get what they want, right? We are talking here about someone who cannot create or are not creating their own abundance. They are counting on others. Somebody who is not caring of other people. They might totally lack empathy. They might be very, very self-centered, right? This is what we are talking about here, right? They might be critical. They might be insecure, in fact, right? But they might not present themselves as being insecure, even though they might be playing the victim a lot also, right? So yeah, here people are detaching themselves, in fact, from this person, cutting the bond, right? I will hide here. You see here that there is a chain, right? This person is above, and there is a chain here, right? So it's broken. People are breaking the connection with this person, the chain. They see now something. We have the Justice here, seeing the truth for what it is. And here we have the Knight of Swords in the upright. So this is a cutting truth, right? So it truly feels here that this Emperor in reverse here might have been able to hide who they truly are for a long time, right? They might have presented themselves as absolutely charming and loving and caring and empathetic and understanding, all those kind of things, right? When they are absolutely not, They are absolutely not. And it truly feels here that people have awakened to that now with this Knight of Swords in the upright. It's a knight, it's quick, it's a cutting truth, right? So this is why I kind of feel that we might be talking about someone who is a very, very good actor, right? They knew how to maintain some kind of image here. Let's see, anything else here regarding this devil in reverse? Tell me. Communication, focus. I kind of feel that this person was all the time focused on you and talking about you. This might be the reason why people started to realize that there is some kind of issue here, because if this person has presented you as being emotionally unstable in some kind of way, them being so focused on you, at a certain moment it kind of I'm attracted here to this Nine of Cups, right? You be minding your own business, doing your own thing, right? Tell me here the Eight of Wands, the Two of Cups. Yeah, you being loving, caring. Yeah, and they being obsessed by you. They being obsessed by you. They not resting. They are restless, talking about you. Yeah, it kind of what it appears to people is that they are obsessed by you. Because they might be so focused on you, talking about you all the time, all the time, all the time. Okay. Let's see, the Five of Swords here in reverse. Somebody who wanted to win at all costs, but they are losing. They are losing. This is in the driving energy. Tell me, the Five of Swords in reverse. The Five of Swords in reverse. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse. The King of Swords. And the Five of Pentacles. Listen, we might be talking about money. Doesn't have to be. With the Nine of Pentacles here in reverse, I feel somebody who's dependent on other people, right? They might have been dependent on you, or we might be talking truly about someone who is dependent on other people. They are unable to make their own money. We might be talking about money, we might be talking about value. Someone who, in fact, there is some kind of element of discomfort with themselves, who they are. They don't value themselves. They don't trust themselves, right? And it's truly reflecting here. With this King of Swords here, yes, we are talking here about mental clarity. We are talking about truth. The truth is being seen. We might be talking about somebody specific here. We had already this King of Swords in a reading, and it was in this reading, it looked like, at least, it looked like a judge, a private investigator, something like that, right? Because we might be talking here about someone being part of the law. It doesn't have to be, right? But what this is telling me, it is that, in fact, it appears to people that they are dependent on you, right? And so they wanted you to be miserable. They wanted you to feel rejected, to have no help, to be in the cold, right? Because they were dependent on you. Okay. Let's see here if I'm getting anything else here for the Five of Swords in reverse. Tell me. The Four of Swords in reverse once again. Yeah, being restless. Yeah, people see how this person, whoever we are talking about, they did everything in their power for you to be isolated, rejected, in the cold, in a miserable place. Yeah. Yeah, I truly feel the obsession here. Their obsession towards you. And this is what appears clearly now, that you are not obsessed, right? They are. They are. Yeah, it kind of feels here also that they are acting in very, very reckless ways. With the Four of Swords in reverse, somebody doesn't stop for a moment and think, right? There is no. With the Four of Swords, we are talking about someone who truly takes their time to think, to rest, not to be reactive, but thinking about the right response. We are also talking about healing here. It's in reverse. Somebody is restless. They are just. I feel the energy. You know what I see in front of me? It was a advertisement for batteries. You know, with the. How do we say it? It's the rabbit. Tuk 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 tuk. You know, like they were on a tambourine. You know, all the time, 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 like this. This is what I feel. Like the energy of this person being on overdrive all the time, not stopping for a moment, being obsessed and like there is no air in their behavior, right? There is no release, there is no air, there is no thought. It is all, yeah, it truly feels like someone acting from a wounded ego. So you might not have done anything to them, right? Just maybe for a reason or another, you have hurt their ego. And it might not even be that, right? It might just be that this person, they cannot control you, they want something from you. We have here the element of lying, stealing, right? So it might also be that they are acting out of jealousy, they want something from you. Okay, let's see here, what are we getting for this Ten of Swords? Tell me the Ten of Swords, the Three of Cups, the Eight of Cups, in reverse, the Queen of Wands. Yeah, listen, what's obvious here, it is that they have, I feel that this is it, right? They have presented themselves in a certain way and you in the opposite way, and this is exactly what is seen now, that in fact they were describing themselves when they were painting you, because people now, they feel positively about you, right? People like you. And this person might have made up stories about maybe why you are in hermit mode, for example, right? Why you might maybe be an introvert and you don't have many people around you. Saying that in fact you did so many bad things to so many people, when in fact it might just not be the case, right? Yeah. Projections. We are talking here about someone who is unable to detach themselves. Apparently, they find you extremely attractive here. They might have a problem with your independence, with your free thinking, with the fact that you have some kind of magnetism, right? You are getting into a space, and without even wanting, you might attract some kind of energy towards you. People might be curious about you, right? There is here something about you being yourself, embodying who you are. There is the element of independence here, right? With this Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands often attracts a lot of jealousy, right? It's somebody who will just live their life according to their inspiration. Maybe their connection to their higher self, the highest, their soul. Yeah. And it feels here that somebody wanted you to be stressed out all the time. They didn't want you to be able to detach yourself. Yeah, because we have the element here of being dependent. You understand the issue here? We have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, somebody who is dependent, and then we have the Queen of Wands here. You being, living your life, doing your thing, being the master of your domain, right? Following your own inspiration, free thinker. Yeah, it feels that this person is obsessed by you. You might be their scapegoat, right? Okay. Let's see here. Anything else for this Ten of Swords? Seven of Cups in reverse. Yeah, the truth is seen. There is no doubt anymore, right? You might have needed to make a choice, feeling that this person was trying to block you to be yourself, right? They wanted to block you from that, from being able to be yourself. Maybe you started to heal. They didn't like it because it meant that you would be more and more of yourself. They wanted to block it, right? Yeah, the Seven of Cups in reverse. There is no confusion, no illusion anymore, right? You had to make a choice. You did it. Okay. I feel that there is here something about you reacting out of your beautiful self, right? Doing what you are supposed to do, right? And a hater, someone controlling, right? Someone manipulative, someone domineering, somebody acting out of their wounded ego, right? Pride. They couldn't stand it. They couldn't stand the fact that you were just being yourself, living your life, being in your strong self. They were trying, I feel, to keep you stuck. The devil, the Eight of Cups in reverse, trying to keep you stuck. They didn't want people to like you. They wanted you to feel rejected. Like you were heading towards your happiness and this person couldn't stand it. But at the end of the day, they have blamed you of everything. They have created situations, but it all came of the fact that they are a hater. This is the thing. They are a hater. Okay. Let's see here the Page of Wands in reverse. This is in the path shifts. The Page of Wands, the Two of Cups in reverse. Yeah, you Five of Swords in reverse. Hangman, yeah. The Five of Swords in reverse. Okay, listen, yeah, you stop here investing, right? If I said, if we are talking about a love story, whatever, and you were passionate about them, and you were enchanted by them, and there was some kind of, yeah, passionate energy, a strong desire, no more, right? If there was some kind of connection, you were sharing your life with them, your ideas with them, you stop doing that. You stop pouring energy into them. You stopped sharing your life with them, right? Your life, your desires, where you were heading. This created here some kind of situation. Yeah, this is the moment that they lost, because the moment that they couldn't reach you anymore, right? Because kind of feel that you were not reacting anymore even. You didn't listen to them anymore. Look how this Page of Wands is looking up, right? So imagine. Wait. Right? Imagine. So, this person wanted you to look at them this way, right? And it didn't happen anymore, right? You saw them this way. You saw them this way, and so you stopped looking at them this way, right? You stopped investing, you stopped sharing, you stopped. Yeah, and this is when They couldn't reach you anymore. They couldn't reach you anymore. So they lost. They lost. And it appears that because you have stopped sharing, you might have been protecting yourself. This is when people started to see things from a new perspective, right? Because if this person was painting you, for example, in this Nine of Pentacles energy, that you were dependent on them, in fact, right? That you were unstable, that you were karmic, it doesn't hold anymore, right? It doesn't hold. Yeah. Anything else here with this Page of Wands in reverse? The Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, this person couldn't manifest whatever they wanted to manifest the moment that you stopped pouring into them. You stopped caring about them. Yeah, this is what changed the game. The fact that you stood your ground. You totally embodied yourself. You stopped being sorry or apologizing for who you are. The moment you stop doing that, maybe in the past you were walking on eggshells, you were trying to get their approval, you were trying to save their feelings, all those kind of things, right? You were trying to comfort them, give them confidence, all those things, right? And you kind of feel that at a certain moment you just look up, you just look the other way, right? Look, you are looking the other way, you are smiling, you are happy, you stop giving this once to this person, right? Giving them energy. You stop doing that. Yeah, and so suddenly their plan doesn't work because they needed you to care for them in order for their plan to work. But as I said, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because if they didn't act this way, emotionally manipulating, right? Trying to control you, lying, stealing, manipulating, cheating, cunning, backstabbing, trying intentionally to create some kind of imbalance in your life, make you feel rejected. They were trying to make you dependent on them. This is what they were trying to do, create confusion, right? If they wouldn't have done that, you would have continued to support them, all those kind of things. But they just acted in, according to who they are. They needed control. They didn't want peace, right? This kind of person, they cannot have peace. Peace is the issue for them, right? They cannot have you be at peace, because if you are at peace, they cannot manipulate you anymore. And this is what they want. They need to manipulate you. They need to be in control of you, right? Okay, let's go to closure here. Interesting, the candle went down. I won't put another candle because we are at the end, but I truly feel here that this kind of is a beautiful metaphor, right? Of what happened in the situation. There was a fire. There was some kind of exchange, soul exchange coming from you, right? Yeah, it went down. It went down, but it went down because of their behavior. They created it by themselves. Okay, closure. Tell me closure. The Hierophant in reverse. And the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, listen. You stop giving authority to someone who should never had authority, right? This is somebody, they are doing whatever they want, the way that they want. They very often have double standards, right? I want to say it's my way or the highway, but it's not my way or the highway. It's my way, and that's it, that's all, right? And if it's the highway, then they are pushing you out of a bridge, if you understand what I mean. Like, your freedom is impossible, right? This is somebody who doesn't respect integrity, morality. They don't respect other people. It's there is a word. It's somebody dogmatic, right? It's like a cult leader, in fact, right? Even though it doesn't need to be a cult, even though we say that a cult, it can be two people can already be we can already have a cult leader in a extremely small group, right? If somebody is imposing their authority on other people in families, we often have someone who is, if there's a narcissist, right, very often they are acting as a cult leader. Yeah, listen, the moment that you saw them for who they are, the wheels are turning. The wheels are turning. They wanted you to be stressed out all the time, right? They wanted to have some kind of control over you. I truly feel here that we are talking about other people seeing the situation now. Maybe the reason why you needed to take distance, why you stop allowing this person to be in your life, right? It kind of feels, right, that their toxic behavior might not have been seen because it was between you, or it was in the smallest circle, right? The moment that you started to truly embody yourself and not giving them the ability to control you, right? You regaining your inner power, your clarity, not trying anymore to please them at the price of you. Then there was the whole trying to maintain some kind of control over you no matter what, using other people. And I kind of feel that other people might have listened, right? Until they realize that, in fact, this person is totally obsessed by you. They are talking about you all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time, right? And even if we are talking here about a masculine, they might have acted in some kind of feminine way, right? Like the way that they were talking about you, and yeah, they might have been there something. Yeah, and then they realized. It kind of truly feel here that they understood now why you needed to step away, right? Yeah, and it also feel here with this Wheel of Fortune. Listen, if we are talking, for example, about a family situation, right? So people might judge you very, very harshly when you are taking distance of your family, right? Because you are going against tradition, against convention, right? You are going against it, right? So people might be very judging. And they are judging because it's like a taboo subject. And they might also, be very judging because they might be afraid that it might happen to them. It might also be, right? We know that most parents, they feel guilty for something. And, they might not understand that a parent is not supposed to be perfect, right? A human being is not supposed to be perfect. But we are not talking here about being perfect or being imperfect. We are talking about toxic behavior, controlling behavior, right? This is what we are talking about. But many people are also afraid of that because they carry some kind of guilt about what they did to their children, all those kind of things, right? Or they are afraid that it will happen to them. And so they are against that, but they don't understand that, in fact, it goes much deeper than that. It's okay to make mistakes. All of that, it's okay. Right? It's not okay if you want to control your child, your adult child, your small child, if you are a bully, right? If you are dogmatic, if you are unfair, if you are not loving, not caring, right? All you have is expectations, that's all. With this Wheel of Fortune, it kind of appears also that the reality is also showing something beautiful. The moment that you broke this contract, right? You broke this contract, whatever it was. Okay, let's see. Anything else? Yeah, this person is in the dark now because they are stuck. They are stuck. Yeah, they are still watching you here. Yeah, they are still watching you. They might want to come towards you and apologize now because it's the only thing that they can do. Because you are leading your life, you are in your power, you are stable, you are good. They understood that they totally lost, right? The Magician. Yeah, you are in your full power, looking towards your future, healed. Look, moving forward, stable. Yeah, they didn't succeed here with trying to be superior to you. They didn't succeed. They thought that you would stay here in this being broken-hearted all the time, right? Yeah, it makes me think about something that I saw. It was, somebody explaining. It's like somebody who was truly in narcissistic behaviors, and I don't know if they awaken, I don't know what happened there, but they said, when I was with my girlfriend or with my wife, I don't remember, she was perfect. I needed to bring her down because I was not confident, and I knew that she was better than me. And so I needed to destroy her because for me it was the only reason that for her she would stay with me. Right? So we might also be talking about this kind of situation, So this person was all the time making this person feel like shit, right? When they were beautiful, they would never tell them you look beautiful, right? Never. When they were happy, they were always bringing something to destroy it, and they thought that this person would stay with them. No, absolutely not. This is the self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So, listen, I will leave it here. I hope that it was helpful, insightful, maybe healing. If not, at least that my company was entertaining, right? Maybe it brought you a little bit of awareness, of clarity. Sending you a lot of love, a lot of good vibes. I'll see you in the comments. Until very, very soon.